Hi, this is Jim Starkweather, the publisher of Kitmaker Network and Armorama.com, and welcome to another Cracking the Box. Today we've got a new model from Flyhawk. This is their Pz.Kpfw 2 Ausf, the VK.16.01. This is an unassembled plastic kit with some photo etch. It is in 1/72nd scale, so it's pretty small. This is the size of the box, as you can see from my hands. I've got it up pretty close to the camera. On the side, there's not really any other potential info I need to share. There are some other model offerings. They've got a Renault FT17 Lite, another F17, and a Pz.Kpfw 1 Ausf. So those are all prior releases. This is kit number FH3005. I'm kind of hiding it here. So this other small scale release, the Pz.Kpfw 1 that they show on here is 3006, so I assume that is also being released around the same time, if it's not out right now anyways. So inside the box is another box in cardboard, and we'll open that one up, and you can see on the inside we've got a nice little manual, as well as the packaged parts are all basically in this little kind of, several little layers of foam. There's foam for some of the main plastic screws here. I'll remove that. And we've got some road wheels, which look interesting, detail nice. There's a connection between them. I'm not sure if that's just for ease of building it. We can take a look on the instructions to see how that works. I think that's on the back side of the wheels, I'm guessing, maybe. Although there's two there. So, yeah, interesting. All right. And then we have some of the upper turret. Again, very small, 1/72nd scale. But they have lots of small detail pieces here. I'm assuming that's one of the barrels. Some of the sprockets and idler wheel, or there's the sprockets anyways. Idler wheels, like probably are on that other sprue, I'm guessing. The front mantlet. Yeah, lots of small details. The photos are probably going to pick out this stuff better than looking at them here in this arrangement. Although I suppose if I put them like this, it would be a little bit better to look at. But yeah, you can see some of the fender covers. So let's actually get to the actual hull, and then we've got a layer of photo etch. They actually include like a little road here, like a mounting base, but there's a small sheet of photo etch, as well as decals and some towing rope, and again, pull all that out and photograph it. And then another foam section here, which you can see very nicely laid out, very, very well done for packaging. Be interesting to try to get it back in this way. So here's the main hull. Kind of interesting arrangement here, the two pieces, and they obviously fit this way, I think. No, I guess I have the right way. They fit like that, so it does most of the lower hull. And the fit looks really good. They've actually got spacing between these suspension bars to kind of make it look like they're not molded on here, like they were actually. I mean, there's a little bit of space between these, so you can see on this shot right here the 2015 Flyhawk stamp, but you can see the space between those there, so very nice. So tiny this kit will be. You guys really who do these, I applaud you. I can barely read at this kind of size level now anymore. Here's the tracks, and they obviously have a kind of upper, lower, and then a curved around build process, but they're some individual links as well as some long stretches there. Some of the side detail pieces, there's a shovel right there where my finger's pointing. Here's a crank, a manual crank, and another shovel and an axe. And then these are tools. I can see another axe and wire bolt cutters, a fire extinguisher, I think. And on this one, we have more detail pieces. There's a jack, some tow ropes, and on this piece, there's more shovels and cranks and stuff. Was this like used for repair to repair other vehicles? Rush out into the battlefield and repair that big tank. I don't know. And then we have some U-bolts and some other small detail parts. But again, the macro photos I'll shoot will probably get more of that detail. Let's take a look at the instructions real quick just to see how those wheels were going in. So it's a 2-page setup. Let me move this out of the way. And yeah, they just show them going on like that. I guess the way they've done it, they're so close together, plus they have another wheel backing it. Okay, so that piece is not going to be seen, is what they're showing here in the instructions, anyways. Can imagine some purists going, "Oh, I can't have a piece of plastic connecting those two. I'll know it's there." They have two camo and marking schemes in the back here. One for 13th Verstärk Polizei. Interesting. Polizei? Panzer Company? 1943. Interesting. Am I reading that in another language? Anyways, and then the other one is Panzer ABT ZB V66 Autumn 1942. So I'm not sure the production actual history of this. I know this is a tank that, for example, you can play in World of Tanks. The Panzer II-J is quite famous, and that as being a rather expensive premium vehicle that only came through Russian, kind of a Russian pack thing that you could buy, and its armor was quite impressive, if I'm not mistaken, to the point where it basically can't be penned by a lot of the tanks in that same tier in the game, because I believe it's a tier 3 tank. So, but I'm not sure it ever actually was a production tank. Maybe you guys can discuss that in the comments section and fill me in on the background history. But you can see again lots of parts, and for a 1/76 scale kit, it looks very, very detailed. Although that scale is obviously starting to really kind of boom since the internet days. We'll go ahead and take a look at the photos though, and we'll come back. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the photos for the Pz.Kpfw 2 Ausf J VK.16.01. This kit has just been released, so take a look for it online and at your maybe local kit sellers. If they're not carrying Flyhawk, just might want to say, hey, I was looking at a Flyhawk model online, but you don't carry this, because that's what gets them to go, oh, I'll take a look for it and go find these new kits and so forth. So again, if you have any comments and suggestions, please leave them below, and would love to hear any feedback you have on this kit or any kinds of comments about the history and so forth. Our thanks to Flyhawk for sending us this sample, and we'll see you next time on Cracking the Box.